PWPNation.com. We're just moments away from the Raw After Mania, and I'm here to give my quick thoughts and reviews. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the Roosevelts RSVLTS for this beautiful shirt, which you'll be able to win tonight. I'm going to have a drawing for this shirt, this exact shirt I'm wearing, this Macho Man Randy Savage shirt. We're going to have a drawing for one after this review during Raw tonight. We're going to compile them. We're going to pick the winner tomorrow. It's going to be one of those retweet deals. So if you retweet the picture of the shirt at PWP Nation, you'll be entered to win this drawing. So at PWP Nation on Twitter, that's where we'll be doing the drawing for this glorious shirt, the Macho Man Randy Savage. We're going to talk WrestleMania. I'm going to be quick. I'm going to talk about this more in the days and weeks to come. As we all know, this is going to be a topic that we'll be talking about for probably the entire year in one way, shape, or form. It tends to be something that we, like WrestleMania last year, we discussed it for months. And the same thing's going to happen here. So I was at the event. I went to WrestleMania, and I got to be honest, like, I love professional wrestling. You know, nobody's a bigger wrestling fan than me. I'm sure there are some. After seeing some of the fans I saw this week, there's definitely some that are bigger than me. But I like to consider myself a diehard, huge wrestling fan. I have been since I was a kid. And I had issue with very few things this weekend. But one of them was the live event experience at WrestleMania. Now, I've been to WrestleManias before. This is my fourth WrestleMania. And not one time did I feel like I had a flashing light in my face for the entire time, man. And also I was there for 7 hours, and my voice is a little shot because I was freaking out a couple times. Mark out moments all night long. So it was a long day, real long night. I also did go to Ring of Honor G1 Supercard the night before, New Japan. I went to that as well. What's up to Pam in the chat and on YouTube? We're also on YouTube, guys. If it's easier to watch on YouTube, head over to youtube.com/PWPNation while we're up and running. So I also went to Ring of Honor, New Japan at Madison Square Garden the night before, and I got really, really drunk, like irresponsibly drunk. So I had one too many beers that night. So I wasn't really on my A game yesterday for WrestleMania. So the live experience wasn't what it should have been, and that is all on me. However, there's a couple things. Obviously, the yellow light that everybody was talking about and the flashing lights in my face. But that's the negativity. That's all I got for you when it comes to negativity, baby. The rest is positive, man. I had a blast. WrestleMania was great. This was the best WrestleMania that we've had in many, many years. I think it tops last year, absolutely. Definitely tops 33. Definitely tops 32. Just a fun show, stacked card. Everybody who, the fans were solidly behind Kofi Kingston, like I've never seen before. Solidly behind Becky Lynch, like I've never seen, man. I was sitting next to a kid at Ring of Honor who had a big shirt on that said "The Man." Like it was wild. I didn't expect to see that at Ring of Honor, but I did. And just the weekend was full of excitement. And there was a lot of stuff I missed out on, but I did get to meet a lot of awesome wrestling fans, and that's really what you cherish at WrestleMania. But to review the show, I thought it was fantastic. I mean, yeah, Anthony's saying in the chat on Periscope, like, he's in disbelief over Brock versus Rollins. And I was too. I was like, this is an amazing way to start WrestleMania. Alexa Bliss, of course, is the start. I think everybody called that. And then when she snaps her fingers, Hulk Hogan comes out. Place went nuts. Like, you can be for or against Hulk Hogan. We all have our opinions on the Hulkster and the life he's led and where he's at now. However, there needs to be a road to redemption for everyone, and we've seen that come full circle here with his return to WrestleMania. So Hulk Hogan comes out, the place went nuts. Like, I was there, everybody was standing, everybody was going crazy. It was maybe not everyone. I'm sure there's people who were like, boo, but the majority of the fans were going nuts. The pop was huge. So Hulk Hogan, huge pop. And then to have that transition right into Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins, I loved it. WrestleMania was off to a great start. I was a little surprised Brock Lesnar lost his match as swiftly as he did, considering he's put himself in positions for years to absorb so much more punishment and still come out on top. So that was a little bit alarming to me. I know the low blow is his kryptonite. Like, you hit Brock Lesnar in the balls, and it's a done deal. Like, if you ever get into a street fight with Brock Lesnar, just go right for his nuts. Just kick him right in the nuts, because then you got a chance. You got some kind of chance, as we saw Seth Rollins had. And it was fantastic to see Rollins actually become the Universal Champion after this long run, this long journey to getting there. It was great to see this actually happen for once. He's going to go to UFC. That's why I laughed my ass off. I know. Duh. I mean, like, that's obvious. that he's going to the UFC. Like, I know that. I'm not like, I know what I'm doing here. But I'm just, out of watching Brock Lesnar in the WWE ring for this many years and seeing how he got beaten so swiftly by Seth Rollins, it was just surprising. It was surprising to me, Rollins is now the Universal Champion, and I expect him to be a fighting champion. I would expect him to defend the Universal title tonight on Raw. I hope they let him defend the Universal title on Raw. And I want to get this done really quickly, so in 10 minutes. So I'm just going to burn right through a lot of stuff because let's face it, there's a lot of stuff that we don't. Yeah, you're right, Tony. A lot of ways. There's a lot of stuff that I'm not really going to touch on because a lot of it was just like, do we really need to talk about Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre right now? I'll talk about that later. But the beginning of the show is what I really wanted to talk about. The beginning of the show got WrestleMania off to a great start, and that is always super important, like unbelievably important, more than we'll ever know, especially as wrestling fans when we're kind of in the moment and we're going to love what's happening, and it's WrestleMania weekend, the excitement. Starting the show off spectacularly is the way to do it. Now, I'm happy that we went right from that to Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. This is where the chaos started happening with the lights, and I was in the section that was screaming and yelling about the lights. Oh, please turn the lights off or whatever it was. Like, I was there. I was in that section, and it was like you were staring at the fucking sun. Like it was like having the sun directly in your face the entire time. Like I couldn't believe that nobody had tested that out before, but it was bad, man. And the kid sitting next to me kind of said like this happens all the time, and I was like, I've never had this happen before at WWE before. Like I've never had shining lights in my face that critically the whole night. But last night, you had that yellow shining light. They turned it off. Finally, they replaced it with like a red light that was not near as annoying. So thank you for that, WWE. Thank you. But on top of that, you had flashing lights in your face the entire night. Like I had flash bulbs going off in my eyes for 7 hours. Now, I'm not an expert on the human brain or the eyes or anything like that, but you can't tell me that's good for anybody in that crowd. I will not believe that is like benefiting anyone whatsoever aside from the outside of the TV production. And that's really what WWE is all about now. Like that entire arena was set up for TV production. But anyway, let's get back to the wrestling because I'm starting to get complaining. Randy Orton and AJ Styles was one of those WrestleMania classic kind of matches. I thought Randy Orton was going to win. I really did. Yeah, no Titantrons. That's true. I thought Orton was going to win for sure. But I'm happy AJ Styles won. AJ Styles winning at WrestleMania against Orton is a big leap in the right direction for AJ Styles' career, especially after his awesome WWE title run. He hasn't really had the best of luck in recent weeks. He hasn't wrestled that much, if you think about it. Like, if you look at the matches he's had, he hasn't really won, and he hasn't had that many singles matches at all. So AJ Styles is a little bit of an attraction right now, like in Randy Orton too, for that matter. So fantastic match. I watched it back on TV. It was amazing. I was really happy to see that match come off as well as it did. So here's to a long feud for them. I hope Randy Orton gets some payback tomorrow night on SmackDown, beats the trash out of AJ or something along those lines, because just up and down, great match. There are no complaints from me here. Of course, we can talk about the pre-show, but I don't really have much to really touch on during the pre-show. I mean, we knew Braun Strowman was going to win. Congratulations, Ryder and Hawkins. Carmella, I mean, look, Carmella, WrestleMania moment, Battle Royal is what it is. Good for her. She's earned it. Tony Nese, I've been watching him for about 10 years or so on the indies. Good for him, man. Pump for him. Some cool spots in that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, too. But moving on, we went from AJ into the tag team title match, and I thought the Usos were definitely going to run away with this, but Ricochet was the star. Also Cesaro. And Ricochet and Cesaro kind of go hand in hand in this one. Cesaro's swing was amazing. So everybody got their stuff in during this match, but Ricochet, to me, stood out. Solid match here, no complaints. It was electric in the arena for it, man. People were excited for the Usos, for sure. Getting their big WrestleMania moment, their first one at WrestleMania. Next up was the Hall of Fame. Once again, I haven't even watched the Hall of Fame yet. I kind of check out during this kind of stuff. This is when I look at my phone and just kind of chill. But I watched it on TV. It looks like the Hall of Fame was a blast, aside from Bret Hart getting tackled. Bret Hart got his ass tackled at the Hall of Fame. That blows my mind. A lot of people were talking about that at Madison Square Garden too. That's for sure. Let's continue here. Shane and The Miz. The second I got to the building, second I sat down, I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, that's a crash pad. Like, look, I spoiled it for my friend because I was like, That crash pad is there for no reason outside of Shane McMahon jumping off it in some way, shape, or form. And sure enough, there it was. A solid brawl, though. You couldn't really see what was going on live in the arena, of course. I watched the screen a little bit during this one. But I watched it back today again on WWE Network, and wow, it was a really good brawl. I enjoyed it. Miz should have picked up the win, in my opinion, but the way he lost was fine because it was the suplex off the top of the scaffolding onto the crash pad. Shane McMahon picks it up just because he landed on top of Miz. I had no problem with the finish here. It continues the storyline, continues helping Miz elevate to the next level and get that hopefully shot at the title this year. I think that's important for his career. I don't care if it's the Raw title or the WWE title. I think he needs it at some point. So moving on. Women's tag team titles. Look, man, I was surprised. I got to give it up to the Iconics. Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, give it up to them. But, man, what do you do with Sasha Banks and Bayley now? What do you do with these two? I thought they were going to have a long, prosperous run. I thought they were going to have a good run with the women's tag team titles to kind of start the prestige. But now they get to chase them. So watching this match back, I like the story it told. It was a fluke win for the Iconics. And it adds to them as heels. I think tomorrow night we'll see them have some kind of they have to have a promo tomorrow night. You have to give them something tomorrow night. You have to. Pam says AEW and is laughing. I don't know why you're laughing about AEW. I see Shane versus Miz rematch at the next pay-per-view for the trophy. Very possible. I think that's possible too. For sure. Divas of Doom are gonna win. I didn't think they were gonna win. Dude, I don't think you're gonna have like a retired wrestler come back and win like that. You know, there's like, why would you have Beth Phoenix go over in a situation where she's here to kind of put over the next, as we saw, she's here to put over the next generation. Like that's why it happened the way it did, and to get another WrestleMania moment. She's still in great shape, you know, she looked fantastic. Beth Phoenix could do it full time if she wanted to, I think. No doubt about it. But what's the point now at her life? Iconics, big celebratory win. Already we're at Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan. This is what happens when you skip the pre-show, okay? And I wanted to skip the pre-show. Yo, BX Bomber, dude. I met BX Bomber. BX Bomber, thank you so much for saying hi, dude. I probably had, I'm going to say about a dozen people say hello over the weekend at Ring of Honor and at WrestleMania. And it was so cool. Everybody said hello, and I didn't get everybody's name. A lot of people were just moving back and forth, but I did meet a lot of old friends. I met Christina at I Don't Love That on Twitter. I've known her for a few years now. She's awesome. It was really bizarre. Her husband just kind of like noticed me in line getting a beer, and he was like, dude, you're Jay Leto? I'm like, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was dope. Met a few people. Kelsey, I finally met Kelsey. It was good meeting her and Paul. It was cool. It was a fun weekend. So thanks, BX Bomber. Thanks for saying what's up, brother. Yeah, Kelsey was there. I said what's up there. She's got the selfie. She's holding it hostage. Kelsey, send me that selfie. I think Big E might win Money in the Bank and turn heel by cashing in the same night. Ooh, that's a hot take. I don't know about that, man. I wouldn't break up New Day. Nope, not yet. Maybe in a year. Maybe one more year. But after last night, like, why would you break them up already? Like, you're going to run a jealousy angle already? Like, give it a year. Give it some freaking time. Let's pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes, brother. Take our time here with New Day. But Kofi and Bryan was the definitive match of the night. After watching the show on television, this should have been the absolute main event. Okay? This should have been it. Kofi versus Bryan should have been. Look, I get it. I'm fine with Becky Lynch closing the show and Ronda Rousey. Don't get me wrong. Okay? This is in hindsight. All right, this is like saying Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker should have closed the show at WrestleMania 25. You know, this is in hindsight. I understand the marketing. First ever women's main event at WrestleMania. Fantastic idea. History breaking. Amazing. Every way, shape, or form. This was the best match, though. Kofi and Bryan, best match of the night. It was the match live in the building I paid attention to the most. Great storytelling. Daniel Bryan's at the top of his game. This is the best version of Daniel Bryan. What is up, Olive Soph? How you doing? What is up, Aaron Romadinov? The Ghost. The Ghost is back. Just kidding, bro. And we got the match of the night. Kofi Kingston gets his moment finally. Bryan's at the top of his game. It's not over for Daniel Bryan. I'm sure he'll come back may even win the title back. I think there's massive heat in winning the title back and bringing back that hemp belt. Awesome. No, Aaron wasn't there, dude. He didn't come, dude. I invited him to G1 at Madison Square Garden, but he didn't feel like coming. Let's see, was there live that match? Yeah, I was there live too, dude, and it was awesome. It was really cool. Like I'm not the fan that gets up and chants really that much unless it's really something amazing. I'm just numb to this stuff a lot. A lot of me is numb to it. I'm just gonna be honest. A lot of the stuff I just see as business and why are they doing this? I start analyzing it all. It's hard to really sit back and watch as a fan. Saturday night I did that because I got really drunk and I had no thought process that other than just watching Okada hit like 12 clotheslines on Jay White. But it was fun, dude. It was fun. What's up, Tara? Sorry. Tara. You should change your name to something Tara then. New Day, big celebration, the t-shirts, the new title. I loved everything about it. I had an idea that I thought this was going to go another year, and a part of me still thinks it should, but I loved it. Maybe do the rematch next year at WrestleMania. You know, continuing, Kevin Nash sodomized Michael Che. That was very weird. And I'll analyze this show more. I have a lot more to say about this, but I'll do it in other forms. And after, of course, I just wanted to get this out. And we got the Raw After Mania happening right now live, so I'm going to get on that. Samoa Joe, quick win over Mysterio. I'm sure Mysterio nursing that ankle. Roman Reigns, obvious win over Drew McIntyre. Solid little match here, though. Back and forth action. You know, there wasn't a part of me at any moment that thought Roman Reigns was in any trouble here. It feels like every time Drew McIntyre talks trash to an opponent, he gets punched in the mouth. Like every time he trash talks anyone. It happened when he was trash talking Ziggler, happens when he trash talks Roman. It's just like, stop trash talking people, dude. You get punched in the mouth every time. Elias was pretty fun. Like Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena coming back for one night was amazing. If you guys have ever watched my show, I've worn my old Word Life shirt a couple times. Like I have one of the original ones, and it was great seeing that. That was probably the moment of the night. I would take that moment over Hogan's moment or whatever, having Cena come out and cut like an old school rap. It was dope, man. Hit some great lines. Just great. Overall great. My second favorite match of the night was Batista Triple H. That's because they did no holds barred, and it was actually no holds barred. They actually used barred holds. Like Triple H actually ripped the nose ring out of Batista's face. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. I watched it on TV. I know it was a working nose ring. I get it, guys. But the visual was amazing. The spot on the steps where he was ripping his fingers apart, that's joint manipulation used by Pete Dunne, but taken to the extreme. Awesome. I love that as well. Triple H and Batista told a great story. But again, there wasn't a moment in this match where I actually thought that Triple H was in danger of losing. Not a moment where I thought he was going to lose. Somebody says, I honestly thought that Batista was going to win. Nah, Batista's done, man. He's been saying it for a long time. I mean, he's been saying it for, I think, years now, that he wanted one final WrestleMania main event with Triple H, and he got that. And, of course, you had Shawn Michaels out there. You had Ric Flair out there. It was a moment, man. The entrances were cool. Triple H riding down on that dune buggy thing was dope. Whatever that thing was, whatever you call that thing, that was awesome. You couldn't really get the feel of that live, though, the way it came off on TV. That was a problem. Because I'm watching it, I'm trying to watch Triple H. Unless you're up close, and I was in the 100 section. I know Raw started. I'm gonna watch it on delay in a few minutes. Unless you're up close, you're not really getting the feel of that. So on TV, it came off way better. Really cool though. Loved it. I wish there was kind of more special entrances like that. But when you have only a couple, it makes them more special. I do wish they did like a Ronda Rousey MMA style entrance where she walked from the back with an entourage, you know, before she got to the arena with, Joan Jett playing Bad Reputation, all that. Speaking of that, that was fun. I had no problem with that either. And Kurt Angle, Baron Corbin. I'm really shocked Kurt Angle didn't win his final match, but I guess it's the long-standing tradition in wrestling. When you're on your way out, you put over the new guy. Again, Demon versus Lashley. Like, there's really not much to talk about here, guys. I could be one of those podcast guys that breaks this down for like an hour. And there's a lot of guys out there that I love that do this. And I'm going to talk more about this later after Mania and whatnot. We're going to talk about the ramifications. But this match was a squash, and I think everybody going into it knew it would be a squash. Demon Balor's not going to lose to Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. I'm sorry, guys. It's not going to happen. And new Intercontinental Champion. I hope they do something cool tonight. And again, we had Charlotte, Ronda, and Becky. These girls busted their ass. What needed to happen happened. Becky Lynch holds the titles over her head to end WrestleMania. The finish. The referee needs to stop the count when the shoulders come off the mat. They're instructed to stop the count when the shoulders come off the mat. I don't know if it's unification. I don't know if they actually unified the titles. They never said unification, not once. They said she's both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion. They never said the word unification. So unless that word unification is put out there, where they say undisputed, then, you have unification. But they didn't say undisputed. I guess she's undisputed now. She's undisputed. She's champ. I think it's just for champ. I think they're going to call her Becky Two Belts. They're going to call her champ. They're going to have all these nicknames for her. But the finish was screwed up here, and I don't know why. But at least they have an out. Ronda Rousey come back, say she was never beat, and the referee can get berated, whatever. I would like to see Ronda Rousey beat the trash out of the referee tonight. I think that would be cool. Overall, the right finish happened, though, and we had the table spot with Charlotte. Listen, Charlotte's entrance was cool, too, with the helicopter. That's an homage to Ric Flair. Overall, I got to tell you, and I'm going to be completely honest, I am not, even right now, I'm not really on my A game. And I'm a straight shooter. I'm an honest guy. I try to be. And I'm not on my A game right now. But I've watched WrestleMania twice, and I'm not watching it ever again. But this came off like one of the, I'd say, in the top 10 of greatest WrestleManias of all time. I think it's the best one since WrestleMania 30, I would say. WrestleMania 30 had so many epic moments, with Daniel Bryan winning and his whole story, the Undertaker streak going away and stuff. I was kind of disappointed we didn't get to see him either. Like, I went into the WrestleMania, I bought tickets thinking I was going to get to see the Undertaker again, but that didn't happen. To the top 29, my live experience did not. I remember having a better time at the arena or at the stadium for WrestleMania 29. I enjoyed it better. This time my seats were a little bit better. I was right next to the aisle, and the bathroom was right outside my exit. But those flashing lights in my face, dude, they really bothered me. And I have a feeling a lot of the fans, they don't bother a lot of the fans. But for me, it was like the whole time, I just feel like I'm having a spotlight just flashed in my face constantly for 7 hours. Just boom, 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 nonstop. And I don't know if that's some kind of mind control tactic. I don't know if that's some kind of hypnotist tactic, but that's something. I don't think it's necessary. I get it. It's for the TV production. I'm sure it's some kind of lighting thing. And when they pan the arena, you can see the flashing light. It's probably something like that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd like to see a doctor or somebody dig into this and tell me a little bit of why that WWE does this. There's got to be something. Like, there's got to be some kind of psychological benefit for WWE to actually do this. So I'm going to start watching Raw now, guys. I'm going to give WrestleMania a solid B. Too long. A lot of that pre-show did not need to happen. I know you want to get everybody on the card, but you don't need to do all that. Treat the Raw after Mania as an extension of WrestleMania and put some big matches on that too. And make Raw after Mania moments a thing. To get everybody a WrestleMania moment, I mean, with the year of work that Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder put in, they kind of got shoveled into this match at the last minute. And is it fair to them? I mean, I'm sure they love them. I'm sure they're grateful. It just came off lazy to me. Lazy storytelling, no build. So, but I give it a B. I had a great weekend, and I'm giving away one of these shirts tonight on Twitter. It'll be actually the winner will be chosen sometime this week. I'm going to figure it out during Raw tonight, and we're giving one away. So, yeah, way too long. It was tough. I'm going to be 100% tomorrow for sure. I'm going to go have myself a nice, easygoing, relaxing day tomorrow. I did today, but I had to go through the trauma of watching WrestleMania for a second straight time. Watching it twice in 24 hours is kind of like, I don't know, just brutal on the brain. Fantastic time, though. Fantastic. I loved it. Let's go watch Raw. I'm out of here, folks. Peace. Off YouTube.